There you go.
There's a lot here. There's a lot here. So who are they trading?
Exactly.
Who are they trading?
It is possible that Draymond doesn't know. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. As the CEO of new media, I think he understands that us in old media have the CBA done front to back, so he needs to as well. And I think Draymond is sharp. Draymond, and not being a smartass. Draymond, while maybe he is not, crunching the numbers Bobby Marks style, he knows the salaries have to come close to matching up. There is, I spent the time on it this afternoon. Very, very difficult to find a trade that does not involve either Clay or Jonathan Kuminga.
Yep.
And so, the Wiggins is one that can fit in, but Wiggins right now is a negative asset because of his contract. You're not getting.
Not playing well.
Right. That's my point. My point is with his. So I think Draymond is too smart to think there was ever going to be a world where they are acquiring LeBron James and not giving up something of value.
Right.
And this is where, and this is something LeBron has dealt with, it's tricky when your name and then you confirm is publicly associated with, I wanted us to go get that guy. Mm-hmm. Is everybody knows, well, that means somebody had to leave. And maybe he's trying to, be more protective of Kuminga's feelings than Clay's feelings, and maybe it was just an oversight there. But him saying very clearly, I told him, Chuck says Clay and Kuminga Lakers would do it. And Draymond's like, let me set the record straight. I told him Kuminga's untouchable.
Right,
and Clay's already going through his own, emotions of what this year has been and what his future is everywhere. So it's just, I don't want to say I don't believe him. I find this hard to believe, but it creates a messy situation for a team that was just trying to find its footing in Golden State.
No, I agree. And I think Draymond, and you're right, it was maybe an oversight that he didn't mention Clay, but I do think he's doing some locker room management. Kuminga's actually a huge part of what we're doing now. He's averaged about 20 points over the last 2 months. He's a big part of this recent surge. We don't want him being unhappy, so let me say I didn't want him in it. But look, if I'm Golden State, now I know the Lakers are the ones that turned it down. I would go, if they could have got LeBron for Clay and Kuminga and some picks, absolutely.
I don't think they would have had to give up picks.
Well, but but Kuminga for LA, obviously he's not as good as LeBron, even still at this stage for LeBron. But going forward, Kuminga looks like he could become relatively special and a nice second option to AD. So for the Lakers, that's not bad. And for Golden State, they have to forget about this future thing. You have to maximize Steph Curry's present.
Correct.
Period. All right? Because when Steph's gone, it's probably going down here. That's generally how it works. Mm-hmm. What the Lakers, after Kobe was done and even late in his career, they had a downslide until LeBron got there. Generally, after you have a great run, you have a drought. All right? So they have to accept that. But go maximize Steph's present, and that would have been getting LeBron. So even if it would have cost them Kuminga, who I really like, they should have done it.
Okay. If they could. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody thinks that when it comes to winning a title this year or next year, Jonathan Kuminga is more valuable than LeBron James. No matter, I understand that Kuminga is 21 and LeBron is in year 21, which sounds insane. But right now, LeBron is a far better player. And this is where the criticism of this feels unfair because they did win a title in the midst of it. I think they won a title despite it. But when they had those lottery picks, Kuminga and Moody were two of the youngest players in those drafts. Going with, Kuminga's been on the team 3 years now. He's 21. And he's just now showing what he could be. To me, that two-track plan was always a little, I don't want to say arrogant, but a little overzealous.
And like you said, they got their ring.
But it's not like they got their ring with Kuminga, Moody, and Wiseman contributing a ton in that championship.
They're
it was quite the
fortunate
opposite.
that Wiggins panned out.
Exactly right. Yep. What are you guys laughing about? What are you laughing about?
I'm just surprised that. Surprised.
What are you surprised by?
That he doesn't feel comfortable accepting praise.
Well, you feel that way. You never like us to compliment you.
That's true, but I also don't start the show by putting in an imaginary. Hi, I'm Kevin Wildes.
That's true. Okay, go ahead.
Look, LeBron, I think he's been great at accepting praise. All right? And here's the thing, and you guys probably remember this. LeBron is the one that made the MVP speech for the NBA MVP award a thing. Like before that, if you go back and remember, guys would, maybe be at their practice facility or before a game or something if they're still playing.
I remember Duncan got one wearing like Birkenstocks. And
it wasn't as big of a, the league would have their people there and they would give you the award and you'd say a little something. LeBron, and he did a fantastic job, but LeBron made it a production. And then KD took the baton and had his, she's the real MVP speech. So that's accepting praise. And I think that was great for LeBron because I think it should be that type of moment. He had it at his high school. Yeah. Hundreds of people there. Yeah. So I think there's that. But farewell tour, I think the challenging thing for LeBron is that, look, most of these guys, Kobe averaged 17 points on like 36% shooting his last year. Dr. J had been in a little bit of a decline. Last year averaged 16. Kareem was 17, then 14, then 10. Like you could see it's over.
That's
all right,
correct.
right? And LeBron is still playing well enough where, if I'm him, I'm entering the season like, man, I don't know. Let's see how I do. Let's see how we do.
Brew, that's my exact answer. I don't think LeBron's going to choose against a farewell tour because he's going to find the adulation to be too much. I think that while maybe initially he was uncomfortable with it, he's maybe grown to figure out how to deal with it. I don't think he wants to box himself into an end date. Right. And so the only way I could see it happening would be if in a season, if in the final month of a year or 2 months, you see a significant, serious decline, or
possible,
if he suffers a significant injury that is not career-ending, but it's like, oh, okay, this is probably going to be it next year. But otherwise, I don't think Wilds LeBron wants to say, all right, you know what? I'm out after this year. And then that year, he's awesome. And then he's like, well, wait a minute. I want to keep going because I know Brady did the retirement and come back and flirt with it again. There is an element of, if you do the 30 stadiums, 30,
you
the whole
better
thing,
not come back.
You can't really come back. And so I don't think LeBron is, I said this on the air a couple months ago and people made fun of me. I'll say it again. I don't think LeBron is going to play long enough to ever be bad. He might, you know what I mean? He will continue to decline a bit. But I think LeBron, if he plays 4 more years, I think he will be a positive contributor to winning all 4 years. I think he will be a fringe all-star level guy at worst all 4 years. I believe that. And so I don't think you're going to...
That's fascinating. That's I don't disagree with you, and it's insane.
Well,
it'll be 43.
43 doing that.
Yeah, he just turned 39, and so and I don't think he's going to play 4 more years. My point is, I thought Brew's history lesson was useful. Like that, everybody else,
could see they were
and Dirk and Duncan as well. That final year, they were a totally different guy. And the only one who really wasn't was Karl Malone. He was a different guy that year with the Lakers, but he was still pretty good. But then he got hurt. And then that was over.
The other thing is Bronny. Like, if Bronny doesn't come out this year, then if LeBron still really wants to play with him, he doesn't know, okay, is he ready this year? Is he ready next? So that there's that. And I would love to see, I hope LeBron would take a farewell tour at some point. And I say this for him. He mentioned he'd love to do it for his fans and stuff. But look, LeBron has been the most scrutinized NBA player ever, if not American athlete. All right. And his career, I do think, and I alluded to this a week or two ago, it's been so much criticism.
Him, Jordan.
Yeah. It's like the whole career has been in the shadow and in comparison with Michael Jordan, that I don't think it's been as great as he's been praised and all that. I don't think I would like him to really get the praise and adulation without it being about is he the GOAT,
the victory,
comparing him to Michael Jordan, and him to see that and experience, man, fans in all these arenas just giving him love and not thinking about whether he's better than
I've only
Jordan.
been to see LeBron here. I haven't seen him anywhere. Oh, and in LA, obviously, and in Cleveland. So that's a bad take. And in Cleveland, and in Golden State.
Yeah.
But I wonder, when we were at the Garden, it felt it didn't feel like a farewell tour, but it did feel like there was a collective acknowledgement that this is not going to last forever.
Correct.
That
I
we're
agree.
in the last final holes of the golf course. And everyone, it's like the crowd was very pro LeBron.
There were a couple times in that game where it looked like LeBron had leaked out on a fast break and guys didn't hit him. And there was an odd, sigh of disappointment from the Knicks crowd, who are great fans and were rooting for the Knicks. They're like, oh, we could have gotten a Bron highlight. This is the last thing I'll say. What I think could change it is if the team in Vegas gets an official start date. And if it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to play up until I then take over, ownership of a team, then I think then his career would have a hard end date.
Okay. That was a good conversation. Coming up next, panic time in Milwaukee. This won't be a good time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.